Hello, I'm Bill Ferguson. Are you a good listener? This is important because the ability to listen is one of the keys to having great relationships. It's what allows you to avoid conflict uh, and it allows you to maintain love in the relationship. So, the ability to listen is incredibly important. And there's a number of things that happen when you listen. One of the things is that it becomes impossible to have an argument with somebody that listens. Literally, it is physically impossible to have an argument with somebody that listens. So let's look at arguments. If you and I are having an argument, I'm pushing my point of view on you, but you're not interested in what I have to say. You're only interested in pushing your point of view on me. But I could care less what you have to say. I'm only interested in pushing my point of view on you. You're only interested in pushing your point of view on me. So the communication is like this: nothing is getting communicated, nothing is getting resolved, and the cycle of conflict is exploding. So tremendous damage takes place when we argue. You can have a harsh word said in an argument that results in a divorce 4 years later. You can't take back what you're saying. So the next time that you're in an argument, first thing is to notice, oh, I'm in an argument. The moment you do that, the focus shifts from outside of you to inside of you. The next step is to stop talking and listen. I need to hear what you have to say. I need to pull it out of you. And I don't have to like what you're saying. I don't have to agree with your point of view. I don't have to condone it. I don't have to do anything with it except receive it. All I got to do is hear what you're saying. Have you ever been upset and you communicated you're upset? Notice what happens. It loses its power. Well, the same thing in an argument. If you and I are arguing, if I stop talking and listen to what you're having to say, I really receive your point of view. I really get your point of view. It takes the wind out of the sail. It takes away its power. And then once I've heard what you have to say, then there will be an opening for me to say what I want to say. And then once you've said everything and once I've said everything, then we can have a conversation about solutions. So the ability to listen is incredibly important because it prevents arguments and allows you to find solutions. The next thing that's so important in listening is that it allows distance to disappear. The biggest killer of relationships is not accepting somebody the way they are. The second biggest killer is allowing distance to accumulate. So what happens? I get upset at you, then there's distance between you and me. And then I get upset again, and there's a little bit more distance, and a little bit more distance, and a little bit more distance. And then finally, there's a point where I just don't love the person anymore. Well, it's not that the love's not there. The love is there. It's just buried by all the distance. So if you get upset at me, the most important thing I can do is to pull your upset out of you. I want to hear what's going on. I want to get what you're upset about. I want to hear it. And as I receive your communication, as I hear what you're saying, it takes the wind out of the sail. Your upset loses power. But in our culture, we don't do that. Instead of genuinely listening to what somebody has to say, we're threatened by what they say, so we fight what they're saying. So if you're communicating you're upset at me, and again, I don't have to like it, I don't have to agree with it, all I got to do is receive it. Well, when I fight what you're saying, it doesn't make your upset disappear. It doesn't make it go away. It makes it stronger. So you've got the original upset still there, but in my fighting what you're saying, it's gotten bigger. So if somebody's upset at you, the worst thing you can do is fight what they're saying. Stop talking and listen, pull it out of them. And then when you create an environment where it's safe to communicate, distance can't grow. So, another thing about listening. If I'm genuinely interested in what you have to say, you're going to feel loved. You're going to feel appreciated. And then, of course, then you're more interested in what I have to say. But if I'm not interested in what you have to say, don't bother me. If I fight what you're saying, I argue with what you're saying, then that does the opposite. You feel invalidated, you feel rejected, you feel hurt, which then creates distance. You put up your walls of protection, and we just make everything worse. So if I want my relationship with you to be great, I need to be a good listener. I need to listen to what you have to say, because then you feel validated, you feel loved, you feel appreciated. And that is so, so important. So the ability to listen is one of the keys to having a great relationship. It's one of the keys to avoiding conflict. So there's three main things that get accomplished by listening. One of them is it makes arguing impossible, allows you to resolve disputes, allows you to resolve problems. The second thing that it does is it keeps distance from from growing. It keeps distance from accumulating, and it allows that experience of love to continue. And the third thing that listening does is it makes the other person feel loved. It makes the other person feel empowered and special. So develop your ability to listen. The two most important qualities in a relationship. First is the willingness to feel your hurt, because the more you feel your hurt, the more you can flow with whatever happens. The second thing that's so important in relationships is the ability to listen. So practice your ability to listen and watch what happens. Watch how it changes how the other person responds to you. And if you want to learn more about relationships, go to masteryofrelationships.com. There's a lot of information, good information there on relationships. And if you're in a difficult relationship, or if you're having any kind of problem in life, give me a call. We can spend a few minutes looking at what's going on and what needs to be done. It is possible to have love in every relationship and every aspect of life. It is possible to create an incredible life. It is possible to develop the skills to handle whatever life brings you. But you got to know how. And I can walk you through the steps. So give me a call, and I look forward to talking to you. Well, bye. Got to figure out how to turn this off.